Okay, so this is our push-up. The reason we're doing this is to make sure that the shoulder has really healthy function. So when it's going through thousands and thousands of repetitions in the pool, that there's no grinding, there's nothing compensating and looking to get injured. And the second reason we do this is that for the muscles on the front side of the shoulder here, it allows them to be a lot stronger. That's going to help you in the pool catch more water, hold more water, and then have really long, powerful strokes. That helps our stroke length get longer, which we know makes us faster in the pool. So to set up the push-up, hands are going to be just outside of shoulders, straight up like this. The shoulders are going to be directly above the hands on the ground. The hips and your shoulders are going to be the same level, and they're also going to go down at the same rate throughout that push-up. Okay, and the other thing as well is your arm position. You want to make sure that it's at 45 degrees, so I'll tell the kids normally, can you see an arrow shape behind me, my elbows? Hopefully they see that arrow shape, so that's your setup. Okay, and the last thing on the setup is, my push-ups to make sure we get full function of the shoulder is at the top of our push-up, we're not just locked back here. I want the shoulders to be pushed forward, almost like a push-up plus or a serratus push-up or whatever you might know it as. That's the end position. So every rep, we get full range of motion of that shoulder. It might look a little bit different to push-ups you've seen, but that's the healthiest way to tick off every single box of keeping that shoulder healthy in the push-up. Okay, so we'll see the setup then. Hands just outside shoulder width. Shoulders just above hands, hips in line with shoulder, and starting by pushing the ground away as far as I can. I go down, keeping the shoulders and hips level, nice and low, and finishing up like this, okay? Like that, okay? Now there's a few adjustments we're probably going to have to make when looking at people's push-ups. The most common I see is that the elbows are in the wrong place. You get a lot of coaches who've been telling the kids to do stuff military style, so super close, or kids will naturally gravitate, it's a bit easier, out to a T shape. Okay. When that happens, you just got to cue them to remember to go to 45 degrees, remind them to make an arrow shape. Okay, that's normally an easy way to get around that. It might be a little harder for them, so if they're really struggling to get through 10 push-ups, the fastest way to get stronger to be able to do push-ups is to do negatives. So what you do is you start at the top, and then you fight it on the way down, you fight it, and then once they reach the bottom, it should take at least 5 seconds. I don't care how they come up. Okay, so it look like this. If I'm not at 10 push-ups yet, I look good. I'm up here. All my setup cues are the same still, and I'm just going to fight for 5 seconds to have a really, really good shape and come up. Okay. The second thing you're probably going to see go wrong is their core is going to be a little bit droopy. Maybe their hips are sagging a little bit below their shoulders. So it might end up looking a bit like this. It's a bit saggy, like this. But my hips almost staying still. It takes some load off the shoulders, which is not what we want. To make sure their core is doing what it should, and to make sure the shoulder is getting as much work as it can, you can ask them to hollow the core out. They're probably set up already a bit like this. So you need to ask them to hollow that core. Okay, so you might have to remind them every single rep. You might have to reset every single rep to hollow the core, hold it on the way down, hold it on the way up, and go again. So it might go from looking like this here. You ask them to hollow the core out like that, and then now you can do that rep. Okay, hollow that core out. You might have to reset, hollow the core, and go. Okay, and the last thing that we talked about is that they might not finish the full rep. So they might have it looking good, but they don't finish full of the shoulders, or they push that ground away as far as they can. So an easy cue for this is to tell them to push the ground away as far as they can, keeping their arms straight. So hopefully you see it go from this to that. Another cue that can help them feel it a little bit better is if you put a little bit of pressure in the middle of their back, and then ask them to push your hand away, they might start to have this happen, which is great, and you'll see their shoulder blades will actually go up and wrap around their rib cage a bit more. It should go a bit flat and wrap around. So if you're doing all those things, that push-up is looking really good and is making the shoulder really healthy. So that is our push-up.